Hello and welcome to the Christian Reeve podcast, and I have a very special guest today. My guest today is actually an old school friend of mine who I haven't spoken to in nearly 10 years. It's been about 9 years, I think, give or take. And so my guest is Jack Hatcher, aka Calamityhatcher on YouTube.
Hey.
And welcome to the show, man. How's it going?
Hey, thank you very much for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
No, it's my pleasure, honestly. Like when I just looking over my notes on you, like I just have so many questions, so many things to answer, and I just honestly don't know where to start. I guess considering the fact that the last time we spoke was when we were at school.
Yes.
I'm just trying. Do you remember the last time we spoke? Because I can't remember.
I can't remember it like definitively, like the very last time, but I can still remember back to like times at school, sitting outside. Was it the sociology like business building on those like wooden benches outside? I remember sitting there quite a lot.
Right. Yeah.
And obviously, we had like the emo crew.
Yes.
At the tables outside the sixth form area as well. So yeah.
Oh,
I remember bits of it.
Do you know a really funny thing? And I'm just going to be brutally honest, right?
Yeah.
Because at school, you were cringe as fuck, right? However, when I look back at myself and I look back at everything I like, old pictures, things I used to say, think, and everything, I'm like, how are you going to be calling this guy cringe as fuck when you cringe as fuck? It's like it was a weird
that's the
time.
thing. Upon reflection, like we've all, like I think on reflection, we've all kind of, you look back at the person you were, the kid, and a lot of the time you look back like, what the fuck was I doing? Are we allowed to swear?
Yeah. Swear all you want.
So, you look back and you're like, what the fuck were you doing? And I think that's different for different people in different ways. I was very in that kind of cringy way, but also, how do I put this? I've also kind of like, some of the elements of that I've kind of, that were at the core of that cringiness, I've kind of reworked so it's not as cringy and tried to turn it into something. So that's all you can hope for, to grow as an individual and do better consistently.
Absolutely, and obviously one of the reasons that I brought that up as well, other than just to reminisce, is based on something that I actually said to you recently. I think in just a comment on Facebook. But the thing that I kind of cringed at when I used to look at you, like, I'll be more specific. So you were really into like the Jonas Brothers and like All Time Low, and I used to give you shit for that. I don't think I was that bad. I think there are other people that were much worse.
They were far worse.
Yeah, I was kind of more like, why'd you listen to them? And then that was kind of the end of it, as far as I recall.
Yeah.
But it's ironic to me because, like, looking back, that's how it was. We would all give each other shit for different things we would listen to, right? And you were like very much like a kind of like a fanboy in a sense. But that kind of fierce passion you had for that music and those artists and everything, like I'm a different person now, and I was like really, I respect that now, and I respect the fact that you've always kind of stuck with those interests. Obviously you have new interests and stuff like as you grow, but you're still very much passionate about those things, and that same passion and desire you had for those musicians, you sort of seem to carry in all areas of your life, in all things that you do. So I really, really respect that. And
thank you, dude.
I'm just being honest, man. Like I just think that's a really cool thing about you as a person.
Man, like, I still carry that straight up, like particularly with DJing at Voodoo and Face Down. Like All Time Low is still my favorite band, and I will still drop some All Time Low bangers every time I do a set. And I've been known to drop SOS by the Jonas Brothers, Face Down, and stuff like that. Like, I don't care. I think these things really, when you let things kind of define you as things that you love, you can either choose to veer off when there's peer pressure, or you can choose to stick with it. And
yeah,
for all like the kind of shit I've had to put up with over the years for it, it's got me to the places I've wanted to be.
Yeah.
In terms of like DJing and things like that, where now I can proudly drop these tunes and not give a fuck what anyone thinks, and probably see a room full of people start dancing along to it. So yeah, I think it's important to always kind of keep those things to you. And I also think there's a time and place for everything. So like, if you're, I don't know, at some sort of black tie event, I probably wouldn't be like, oh, have you heard the new Jonas Brothers song? But do you know what I mean? You've got to kind of stick with it and stick to your guns, man. Stick to your guns.
Yeah, it's interesting you said that as well, because, thinking back, that same struggle that you were going through, I was going through. But I was more kind of warring with, chavs, I guess. I don't know.
100% with more metal kind of vibe. Yeah,
because for me, me, I was a massive rock, metalhead, emo, all that shit. And, I kind of... I just find that weird as well, that I gave you crap for that, but then I was getting crap. So I don't know, whatever.
That's the thing, because me and your music tastes kind of overlap slightly.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
I had a big love for like Blink-182. I still have a big love for Blink-182, Simple Plan, Sum 41. System of a Down, that kind of thing. So they definitely overlapped, but they were still quite separately distinctive.
Yeah, I think, I think it was more a case of like what you were talking about, like how letting things define you. Like, I think back then I was really narrow-minded about music, and this was before I was a musician as well. Because I actually think that once you become a musician, or you become like actively involved with music on a professional level, I don't know, like for me, like right now as an adult, I like all types of music. And I have like all these different playlists, and for music now is like based on moods. So like back at school, I would listen to rock and metal every single day religiously in the morning, evening, and night. I don't know how I did that. That's nuts. Like listening to metal at like 8 a.m. while waiting for the bus. Like, what the fuck, man? I'm surprised I didn't become a serial killer or something. But
I get that.
Yeah, but like now it's like, I'd happily listen to like a Jonas Brothers song. I actually have done, and I think they're actually pretty damn good. So I'm surprised why I was so like aggressive about that. But I think it was more a case of, go on,
the Disney Channel aesthetic. I think it was.
No, I
think that played a big part.
I was just really picky. Like, to be honest, I didn't really have that much of a big issue with it. I think I was just like playing around. To be honest, I had
more than anything else.
I had more of an issue with like British pop back then. And do you know what? I still stand by this. I think that English pop and like hip hop in like sort of the early 2000s when we were at school was objectively, I think it was shit. There were very few musicians that were actually good.
Okay, I'd like to counter that.
Oh, go on.
I agree. However, that was the time.
Yes.
When you would have Blink-182 like having #1 songs in UK charts and things like that. Like MCR's Black Parade, and I'm not little gems of good music actually get into there.
That's the thing, though. With rock and metal and everything was tight. Even the stuff that was cringe was still at like objectively like good music, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking like UK charts, like N-Dubs. Remember them?
Oh, God,
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Remember when we used to get on the bus, right? This is what I remember: sitting there on the bus with a bunch of people at the back of the bus playing crappy like N-Dubs or something related to that,
and Kate, all that kind of thing.
How wasn't that bad? I don't know. I kind of like that song. Low key, kind of like that. No, but like there was a like objectively speaking, because I always gave the music a chance, even if I didn't like it, and I used to listen to what they would listen to, and I'd be like, why do they listen to this? Like it sounds like bad quality. Do you know what I mean? Like that was more the issue I had with it. And then when they would turn around to me and say, that metal music you listen to is shit or rock, and I'd be like, well, it's not, because it's actually made really well. Like, okay, I was a big System fan like you were, right?
Yeah.
And that was, all their stuff was produced by Rick Rubin, and he was like one of the best producers ever, or objectively still is. So for them to say like, oh, it's shit music, it's crap, like, I know that they just mean like, oh, like they wouldn't listen to it, but like those same people that say that then are the same people now that would like probably actually listen to music like that now. It's just this weird irony.
I think like for me personally, like the kind of journey I went on it in terms of other music is I became, because of like the attacks I had on the music that I loved.
Yeah.
I became very closed off to other genres of music, and I became one of those horrible people who's like, well, you're not a real fan because you don't even know this album exists, and I became one of those people,
a purist.
Exactly, and I had to I took a step back, I think around university time, when I first kind of really got introduced to drum and bass, particularly jump up drum and bass, and things like neurofunk and house and all that kind of thing. And it opened my horizons to new music, and I realized that I didn't have to be in one bubble.
Yeah.
And I was able to open up to new things. And as you said, it's entirely based on like mood now. A lot of the time I'll be listening to lo-fi.
I
love lo-fi as a genre. I just think it's beautiful.
It's great study music.
And I don't really listen to pop punk that much on my day-to-day. I always check out for new releases by my favorite bands and that kind of thing, or again, if the mood permits it. But a lot of the time, because, well, not so much recently with the whole outbreak, but with the club cycle, and, you hear all the small things all the time, and God knows what else.
Yeah.
Then it becomes a bit draining. And so I've found that I kind of had to take down those barriers and become less protective of my music, encourage new people to enjoy it, and also kind of branch out into other genres. And I'm really glad that I have, because I've come across some fantastic music across multiple genres. Like, I'm a big Childish Gambino fan now, and I never would have thought that before, and things like that. So I like how it's I think it's one of the things of growing up, just that flow.
I completely agree with you.
Engine.
I can track back as well. I remember there's two defining things, moments where like it changed for me completely. One was when I was still at sixth form. I think I just turned 17. And do you remember the King Blues?
Yes.
Right.
Oh my God, I saw them live on a barge in Camden.
Oh, that's so sick. Oh my God.
I was sitting at Dingwalls, and they just went down the lock, like on a barge.
Mate.
Playing. I was like, okay, yep, cool.
I once saw Ollie Murs playing guitar in Camden once. And I just walked past him, and he had a camera there, and it was just like really weird. Like, there was no crowd or anything. I was just like, and he was really famous.
Music video.
No, not even. No, he was just playing. I don't know, whatever.
God, no.
But yeah, when they basically, I was a bit of an idiot back then, and I would just believe all the hype and like join in on the hate crew, like, oh yeah, they're shit, and I'd never listen to them, and I was like, stupid. And then I did something. This for me was a defining point. I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and listen to this, and so I did, and it was the album. The one that has that really... I mean, they were really good albums anyway, but the one that has... I guess you could say it's like their breakout album.
Okay.
I will get the girl... That one. I can't remember.
Yes. Save the World, Get the Girl.
That's the one, yeah. That's a brilliant album. But yeah, that was the album I sat down and listened to. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then from then on, I was like trying to find all different types of music and shit. Because obviously that album's very... it's a mix of like ska and punk and all sorts of stuff.
Bit of indie thrown in there.
Yeah, it's really, really good stuff. Like grassroots, or is that the right word? Grassroots, like just very rootsy. And he's a London boy as well, so there's that.
Yeah, 100%.
But so that was like number one, and then number two was around the same time I started up a metal band, and it was like my first proper metal band that I was in for about 3 years, and. That whole time, as we were growing as musicians, I was inevitably listening to other genres and learning, and a lot. I actually decided to get some lessons in the end, which I'd never done because I was always self-taught, and so I started like doing that. And then from there on, you get recommended musicians. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, listen to this guy," and it would be like some jazz musician or something. And I was like, "Oh, okay," and it opens up from there.
I feel you, and I think that's definitely got to be important as a musician, but I also find it quite important as a creator as well.
Yes.
Particularly in like the copyright landscape of YouTube, I can't upload videos with pop punk in it because they're just going to get claimed or blocked. And so you branch out, you find different things. And as I said, I found a real love for lo-fi and chiptune as well.
Oh yeah, I have a friend who does that.
Perfect. Oh, okay.
Might
have to send me some stuff.
Yeah, I knew it. Well, I say friend, like we were friends when we were teens.
Yeah.
But his name's Shirobon, and he started that out back way before it was actually popular. And I was like, really? Like Game Boy music? And he was like, yeah. And I listened to it and I was like, this is actually pretty sick. And then he became like a proper legit musician, and he's like traveled around the world and stuff. And I'm like, damn, man. Check this guy out.
Still move forward.
Yeah, man. It's amazing. Like it's weird as well, because I look at this guy and he's doing really well for himself, and I was like, there was a time when we were just getting shit-faced together in Camden. And now he's
the good old days.
It's weird, man. It's weird. Life is weird. But anyway, so I could just talk to you all day, man. But I want to try to make this more about you, because it is about you.
Okay.
You
That's
mentioned,
scary.
yeah. don't be scared. It's fine. You mentioned DJing. When did you get into that? Why? How did that happen?
So it was kind of a progressive thing. It's something I'd always wanted to do. I'd always kind of looked up at the DJs, Face Down and Voodoo and those kind of places, and thought, that's the pinnacle. That's that's the top of the social chain. That's you're controlling the absolute vibe. You run this show. Like that's where I want to be one day. And then it was just over a year ago that I started inquiring about it. I got more and more friendly with Stu and Phil, who are two of the DJs. Stu runs Face Down, and Phil was the resident pop punk DJ for Voodoo. And I just got more and more friendly with them, and Justin as well from Trauma PR, and just said, like, I want to do this. And they were so great to me to kind of take me under their wing. And I had about a year of issues where I was basically in a relationship where it was holding me back from doing it. And I wasn't really able, like, there's different things that people don't understand for it. Like for Face Down, most people get there at 10. Well, no, the doors open at 10:30. Most people don't get there till 12. I'm there from 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Getting everything sorted and just doing the thing. And I understand that could be quite demanding on a relationship, particularly for females who want to get ready and all that kind of stuff. It's a big ask to be ready by that time. But, it held me back for quite a while. And then when that all kind of fell apart, the guys really kind of were like, no, that's it now. You're going with this. So we get to December, and I did a New Year's party. I can't remember what it was for. It might have been Pop Punk's Not Dead or something like that. Or Make Pop Punk Great Again or something like that. And it was in the Amateur Mums at New Cross.
Oh, yeah.
And I did a set there, and it was an emo set, really, really good. Following that, we had the January Voodoo. Unfortunately, my friend Phil had to drop out. He wasn't too well. And so me and Stu were doing it for the night, and he was like, me and you were just going to split it, and we'll just do like hour on, hour off, keep rolling on and off. And it was my first real time that I was like left on my own consistently to keep going.
Oh, damn.
And we got to 4 a.m. when they closed the pop punk room, and Ryan, one of the guys that runs Voodoo, came up and was just like, there's no way I can shut this down. Like, it's absolutely popping off. And it was just wall to wall. And the kind of the best moment for me was Stu turning to me a few times being like, what do I drop? And I'm like, you're the expert at this, but drop this. And then you just get people's reaction and people going nuts. Like, there was one bit in particular I was like, play I Miss Having Sex by Water Parks. And he was like, what is that? I was like, trust me, just play it. Played it. And the whole room just went up. And I was like, okay, like, this is it. And then literally I found out the next day that I had residency at Voodoo. From that point, I was always going to have a set there.
Oh, wow.
And then I did Face Down the following weekend. And yeah, I've come back to Face Down consistently as well. So it's mad. It all kind of very short space of time blew up.
So is this all within
crazy.
the past year, or?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, just over a bit. Yeah.
Okay. That's amazing, man. Thank you for sharing that. Are you planning on doing that? You know, obviously after everything goes back to normal. Do you have like some major goals that you want to achieve with that? Like, what's the deal?
I think my major goal would be to DJ at Download, which is
Yeah.
not completely. I'm not going to say that's going to happen,
Hey,
but it's
dude,
not
I have a
off the
friend.
cards.
I have a friend who played at Download. Anything
Fair.
is possible.
Yeah, I mean, Facedown and Voodoo normally host at least one of the nights in the Doghouse. And you know, these guys, like I've mentioned, they have DJ'd on that stage in the Doghouse. So you know, just hopefully when things come back, keep working hard at it, and hopefully, you know, that could be a possibility one day, because it's just there's nothing quite. Well, no, actually, I imagine you get it more as a musician, but like there's when you drop a song and you get that reaction, it's just such a good feeling. When people, you can clearly visibly see people enjoying themselves, and it's such a rush, man. I love it. So yeah, I just hope to kind of take that bigger and potentially integrate some of it into my YouTube as well, doing sets and stuff, like live stream DJ sets and things like that.
Yeah, that
Obviously,
would be cool to see, actually.
that'd be. I'm definitely up for doing that. It would be a stream that would be completely copyright claimed, but I'm not that fussed about it, to be completely honest with you. If I do one stream every now and then that gets completely copyright claimed.
Yeah, it's not all about the money, is it? Yeah.
It's not, exactly. That's the thing. I mean, obviously you want to try and make sure you don't hit that. Because any money that I make from YouTube is going to go straight back into improving the quality of the channel.
You can always do it as a Twitch stream, actually.
Yeah. Well, no, Twitch is running into the same issues now.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I read about
a lot
that.
of DMCAs and that. But, you know, just I don't really mind taking the hit on that.
Well, I tell you what, man. If you ever do get to Download, man, please get me in there. I want to be up on the stage. Well, not like
I will do my best,
not on the stage, but like, you know, because I don't want to steal your limelight. But like, as if. But like, I want to be around there so I can see that shit, and just to be behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So keep me in mind, man.
I'll do what I can. I'll keep you in mind. Don't worry.
No, but I get what you mean about popping. Like, that's what I miss most about performing live. Because the last time I had anything close to that was last year when I was in Estonia, and I was doing like spoken word poetry, which is nothing like performing music at all. It's
still a performance, dude.
Oh, dude, it's awkward as fuck, man. It's just a silent room listening to you, and like you have no idea whether they like it or not, and you just feel like a twat.
I imagine though, it's one of those things where it's like you get over the hump, and then you can really get into the flow of it.
I tell you what, man, drinking helps.
Yeah, I can imagine. Just
have a couple of drinks, and the drunker the better.
I feel that is my philosophy for a lot of things.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move it on to YouTube, because I did want to bring up the DJ and stuff, but like mainly because I saw all the photos and it just looked like you were having the time of your life, and I thought, that's a pretty interesting kind of thing. And
great friends, great music.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff that I found about you online. Let's talk about the most recent things. 1,000 subscribers.
Woo!
How does that feel?
Yeah, it's amazing. I can't really. I still struggle to kind of vocalize it because I don't want to go over the top. I don't want to undersell it.
Yeah.
It's huge for me. Personally, I started this channel because I was bored of, well, no, my friends were bored of getting their ears chewed off about Sonic the Hedgehog, and like every day I'd be coming to my friends and being like, oh, there's new set photos from this Marvel movie, so we reckon this is going to happen, but also this theory speculates, and it was just like, there has got to be a better platform for doing this,
right? Other than your friends here, yeah.
Other than boring my friends with it. So I started it off as just a little kind of thing to pass the time, and now hitting 1,000 subscribers, it's just mental. Particularly with the community that I've built on this channel, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy. It's just something I didn't ever think we'd get to.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm ecstatic. I'm over the moon right now.
Yeah, I mean, like, I had a little look at your channel. I've obviously been on your channel beforehand, but like I kind of tracked back, tried to find out the oldest video and stuff, and it seems like you sort of started this properly in around 2017, and then I would say probably the last year, 2019 to 2020, is kind of like your peak in terms of like uploading loads and loads and maybe peak is the wrong word. Like let's say your main time of activity. Because you've been really like pushing it with the live streams, and then the vlogs as well, and obviously all the stuff with the Sonic premiere and so on. So it's very exciting to see that and to see your audience growing as it has been. So like, has there been any like key moments over that time? I guess like milestones or anything that were, how can I put this? What were the big things that kind of like got you to like this point where you are now?
I get you. Okay, so just over a year ago, I put a video out that was leaked Sonic Games 2019. And it's because we had a ton of Reddit leaks come out about a new Sonic game that's going to be revealed. And it's sitting on just under 20,000 views at the moment. I'm waiting for it. I'm just literally waiting. It's a couple of hundred in it to bump it to the big 20. And that was kind of a point for me where I realized, like, holy shit, like people have found this content. This is, you're really passionate about Sonic. This is something you need to push forward with. And then that kind of really spurred me to do it. And then we hit the 500 subscribers mark. And again, that really kind of spurred me on. And then I hit something of a lull where I just didn't know what to do with things. And it was difficult. And then in November of last year, I really figured out that I needed to start moving forward with the channel. I needed to start putting more time and effort into it again and really upping things. And then it got to January and I'd made a few videos on the Sonic movie at this point, and I was hyped. It was all I could think about. I was just on another level. It was more than like I was about Spider-Man movies back in the day. I was just on another level about this movie. And I was having a smoke break at work, and I just thought, you know what, I need to see this movie now. I can't wait till February 14th. So I looked around, I looked up some contacts, and I emailed the head of marketing at who is it, Paramount Pictures. And I emailed her and I just said, look, I'm a Sonic YouTuber. I have 500 subscribers. I would really love to see this movie. My subscribers would really love to get my thoughts on this movie. Is there any possibility of being invited to the premiere? I also got the number for Paramount and asked for her a few times. And so, she'd contact me back. And then I got an email saying that there were no plans at this time. There was nothing set in stone. So I was just like, okay, well, that's probably the fob off email. We'll deal with that. That would just be the end of that. And then January 30th, I was again having a smoke, and I just looked into my emails, and it wasn't something that I normally did when I went for a smoke, but I was just like, okay, I'm just going to quick check my email.
Can I just pause you there? I remember this day. I saw this post. Continue.
I think everyone who had me on Facebook saw this the day.
This was an exciting day, people.
It was, Jesus Christ. I just opened my email and I just saw this email from someone at Paramount, and I was like, what? And I clicked on it, and it was, would you like to go to the Sonic the Hedgehog movie premiere today at 5:30? And I was just
shit, I didn't realise that. So it was the same day deal.
Same day deal.
Right.
And I was like, holy shit. So my boss wasn't in the office at that point, and I called him straight away and was like, hi, I've just got this email.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, look, I'm going to be in the office in an hour, we'll have a chat. I was like, okay, cool. And he gets there and he was like, let me see this email. And he read it over and he was like, there's no way in hell I'm saying no to you.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good boss.
You've got to go early. You've got to do this. This is huge. I was like, okay, awesome. Yeah, the head of marketing had been consulting me on this process of how to get into this premiere in the first place.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he was bigging it up to me, and I was like, "Oh my god, what do I do? Am I dressed inappropriately?" He was like, "No, you're press, you're fine." All this kind of stuff. It was a big like rundown of everything. Then my boss even let me run off site to. It was up in where was it? Where's Fabric? Farringdon. That's where it was. God, up near Fabric to go and pick up a rental gimbal and mic to use so I could film at the premiere, because I obviously didn't have any of my vlogging equipment with me because I'd just gone to work that day.
Oh, okay.
They let me go off site to do that quickly when I got my stuff, went straight to the Sonic premiere, and that was the big one.
Yeah.
That was the big one for me, because I know this may sound exaggerated to some people, but that was the first time that I felt like I was involved in the Sonic franchise. I'd always been someone on YouTube who was shouting about it and singing its praises. But at that point, I felt involved. I was part of the initial, the pre-release marketing, because my review came out the day before. That was the embargo date, the day before the film came out. So people were basing their reactions on this movie potentially off my video before they'd had a chance to analyze it for themselves. And that really hit me differently. That was really kind of a big thing for me. And I felt very included as part of it. And, if Paramount or Sega are watching this, I thank you guys so much for doing that for me. And that was a big turning point in the channel. It blew from there. People kept watching the video. A lot of people started subscribing. And then we got to lockdown, and because I had a lot more time in my hands, I went on a real kind of aggressive marketing campaign, we'll say. I was really going at it on Insta, like direct messaging everybody, Twitter, all of that kind of stuff. And then a couple of my friends are streaming. I have a small like streaming community of friends that I've had in the Harrow area for a long time that have all kind of started streaming. And someone on one of my friends' streams was calling me out, saying that he could beat me at Smash Bros.
Oh, big man.
and then my mate was just like, "Why don't you stream now and play him?" And I was like, "I've never streamed before."
Oh, okay, wow.
And I was all right, fuck it. I've got the capture card. I use it for the videos all the time, and let's do it. And so I just did a stream. Funny enough, the guy was not brave enough to actually join and face me, and still hasn't to this day. Still, I'm waiting for you, Nabear. Come on, man.
Oh, he's called him out. There you go.
I'm calling you out on the Christian Reeve podcast. But and it just that then exploded.
Oh, okay.
People just tuning into this stream. The stream gets over 100 views a night. Sometimes we even get up to 200. It's just insane.
Just to pause. Is this on your YouTube or is this elsewhere?
On YouTube, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
So everyone else was doing it to Twitch, and I was just thought, well, I've got a platform already.
Yeah,
I'm trying to grow.
I wanted to ask you about that. Like, how come you don't sort of try Twitch as well? Like, is that just? I mean, obviously you have just given an answer there where you said, "Oh, you want to focus on growing the YouTube," but like,
yeah.
Have you never thought about maybe being able to reach a different audience through Twitch as well?
This is the thing, and there's a guy called Devin Nash who makes some amazing videos. He's very, very knowledgeable about streaming and the YouTube sphere and all of that kind of stuff. And he's spoken at length about how he thinks YouTube is the next streaming platform. Because Twitch is falling out with a lot of its creators continuously. Twitch's UI is very good. The platform is good, but their app is absolute shite. They are, you obviously had the Ninja to Mixer move.
Yeah.
And now Dr. Disrespect is gone.
Yeah,
I don't know how Alinity's going to get many more chances at this point. Like, I don't know why she's still there, to be honest. Like, the things that she's done have broken Twitch's terms of service many times. But they are... I mean, they've got Tfue.
Yeah.
And they have got a few other big Twitch streamers, obviously, but the number is going down. Mixer Facebook Gaming has potential, but
a lot of people
it's likely to not.
But a lot of people seem to clown Facebook Gaming. Whenever I hear them brought up in the conversation, everyone just kind of laughs like, pfft.
Yes,
you know?
because they're not a viable thing, but they are now starting to put a lot into that.
Okay.
And I think the thing with YouTube is what we need to think about is, in terms of streaming, how long will this form of media last? How long are people going to enjoy watching live streams? Because if you think about Twitch, if people don't decide that they move from live streams to more edited content again, Twitch is done. But YouTube has the platform for both of those.
Yeah.
It's able to use both effectively. And what I also find very good about the discoverability on YouTube is if I go in and type Super Smash Bros., it brings up a whole category specifically for the game. And the first tab they have there before videos or anything is live.
Yeah.
And you're able to see everybody that's streaming it right now. And I think that it's just very good for finding that base game and discovering people. And I don't think Twitch is as good, to be honest. I think Twitch is very limited in its discoverability. It's more interested in just being like, but these are our top streamers, not, so you're interested in this game. These are the guys that are doing this game right now. And I don't know. As I said, as you said previously, it's not about the money. It's not about the money at all. But I'm at a point where I'm incredibly close to YouTube's partner program.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, you need 2K watch hours. So you need 4K watch hours in 365 days. I have 2K watch hours from the past 2 months.
God damn. Well done.
Yeah. So, do you know what I mean? It's working. And moving over to Twitch, I would have to start the whole process again.
Right,
and you do seem to find that there are two different crowds. There is the Twitch crowd and the YouTube crowd. And I do think the YouTube crowd is bigger. And I think the YouTube crowd is becoming more aware of streaming on the platform and becoming more susceptible to it.
But, okay. Like, I see a lot of YouTubers that do Twitch streaming as well as YouTube, though. Have you never thought about just kind of, like, doing both? Maybe how... You know what I mean? Because, like, I get what you mean. I agree with you. And, you know, like, the people that follow me on Twitch that do sometimes drop in, you know... rarely they check out my YouTube stuff. Do you know what I mean? A couple of them have said, you know, that they like the element of being able to like talk to me in real time, whereas the YouTube videos don't offer that. So like, I mean,
you can do that with the YouTube streams as well, of course.
Yes, yeah, you're right. Okay, well,
I get what you mean. Yeah, no, I understand what you mean, and I think it's the following you have. I think that does play a massive part in it, because, as I said, if I go to Twitch now, I am restarting the process from scratch. I will probably carry over 10, 15, maybe 20 subscribers from YouTube over to Twitch, because they're very separate markets. But when you have that, you know, a couple of 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, you have enough people that will follow you wherever you go. And I think that's quite apparent with Ninja, for instance, when you look at the move from Twitch to Mixer. No one wanted to use Mixer, and his numbers were piss poor compared to Twitch, but he's still pulling about, you know, 200,000 a stream audience. He has the following to do that. And I'm also working with the capabilities of what I have at the moment.
Right.
I'm working off a laptop, so I don't know if necessarily multi-streaming is a good idea. Like, for instance, last night I tried to up the stream to 1080 60 FPS and it wasn't having it. No. It's better to stick it at 720 and 60 FPS. Yeah. But then if I was to then try and multi-stream that to Twitch as well, that could result in complications.
I think you'd need another computer, to be honest.
I think so too. Yeah, I think I would need a proper desktop setup.
To be honest with you, though,
I don't want to detract from my YouTube community. They're such a lovely community that I wouldn't want to have to be like, okay, well, I'm streaming on Twitch tonight, guys, so for my YouTube lot, I won't see you till tomorrow, kind of thing. I'd rather not do that. I'd rather kind of keep my community inclusive and have everyone in it.
Okay. All right, man. That's cool. I didn't
But one day.
One day, yeah. Well, I reckon it does kind of ultimately come down to the fact that, like, if you become like a full-time content creator and this becomes your career, then I guess every kind of move that you make and how you plan your schedule is very much going to be a case of dividing your time and kind of saying, like, well, you know, because the time is your most valuable resource in life in general. Yeah. But, like, obviously with being a content creator, it's even more, important in terms of where you put that time and effort and such.
Yeah, 100%. It's like I'm dreading what's going to happen. I mean, well, no, I'm not dreading it. I'm so excited to go back to work and come off the furlough scheme.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the content will suffer, which is why I'm trying to build up a really nice backlog at the moment.
That's exactly what I'm doing as well.
That's what you can do, isn't it? Just
yeah.
build it up, try and get as much there. So then when I go back to work, I can hopefully keep up with daily uploads and daily streams. I don't think there will be daily streams. I think
I was going to say
like a 3-night a week thing.
I think even daily uploads is ambitious. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm sure you can. But
it's demanding.
Yeah, it really is. Like especially for me, like I do a lot of stuff on YouTube and less so on Twitch, because to be honest, it's less rewarding. Like I get a couple of streams here and there that do for my Twitch stream okay. Like let's say the highest I get is like 5 or 6, but normally it averages like 3 or 4, right? That's a good stream.
Yeah.
But most times it's like no one's there.
I get that. I remember those days.
so it's for me, it's tricky to have the motivation to keep doing it. Like I do keep doing it, but like with YouTube there's more of an active kind of response, and I think like you said, there's different like types of stuff you can put on there to reach different people. I think it would be really interesting with Twitch, just sort of drawing this part of the conversation to a close. That I think it would be really interesting if they would actually offer the ability to upload like content just like YouTube does, and sort of actively.
I think you can. I think you can upload clips now.
But yeah, but that's different though. I mean, like actually,
like full videos.
Yeah. Like you can. Yeah, I know you can do the clips and stuff, and you can, have full broadcasts and so on. But like, if they made basically, if they went head to head with YouTube, I think that might, as you say, save them a little bit.
Yeah, I personally think they haven't done that because they didn't want to get into all the dodgy advertising, copyright claims that YouTube get into. But now it's come for streams. I think that's probably an option.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it depends whether Amazon are willing to put money into a content ID system, to be completely honest with you.
I don't know, man. That Bezos guy is pretty tight with his money.
Yeah, Bezos ain't giving us nothing.
Nothing.
No.
That's one strange guy. Anyway, actually, there was one question I wanted to ask you, just going back to the Sonic stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I remember right about the time that you were either just about to drop one of your... Because you uploaded 2. You uploaded a spoiler-free version of the upload... I'm mincing my words here. Of the review, and then there was obviously one to come out after the movie was released, which was with spoilers. And I remember there was a guy, some other YouTuber who'd uploaded, I guess, either a review or it was like clips of the movie or some shit before.
Yeah, it was a
released.
review.
Yeah, what happened to that guy? Because I saw you comment about this guy, and I was like, oh wow.
Okay, so what happened is I got to the bottom of it. And it actually kind of pissed me off a little bit, but still, Daddy Paramount, I love you. Thank you for inviting me. When they realised that people actually loved the movie because they were expecting it to be an absolute train wreck, they started planning more screenings and press screenings and things like that. And when it got to the States, they weren't giving them review embargoes because everybody was coming out. And that's not me exaggerating it as a Sonic fan.
Yeah.
Everybody was coming out of the film saying they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It got to a point where they're like, oh, we don't need an embargo. But they weren't telling people that they previously told that there was a review embargo. So loads of big YouTubers got the scoop on me. And of course, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was on a level playing field.
Yeah.
I felt like I was like, literally, we were all going to drop our stuff at the same time. If you were going to type Sonic the Hedgehog movie review into YouTube, I would have been there with all the other people at the same time posting it. And it's just, it is what it is. Neither one got over 1,000 views, which is what it is, I guess.
I'm surprised by that as well. I thought they would bang. But
I do think that was hindered by the early reviews coming out.
Yeah. I know.
Because if you've heard the big YouTubers talk about it, do you care what the smaller one says 2 weeks after they've spoken about it?
I think as well that reviews tend to do better when the movie is terrible.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
And that's the thing. Like, everyone seems to say that it's a good movie, and like, if I remember correctly, you were very positive and everything. And so, I mean, if you're watching a review with the person just saying, yeah, it's really good, then you're not really okay.
100%.
End off,
Negative content performs better than any other type of content.
Yeah, you can make that argument. That's pretty depressing, but yes, that's true.
Look at what's populating YouTube right now. Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson drama, and the Smash drama. Obviously we just had the
I wanted to get your thoughts on that actually, because that's seriously messed up. Have I understood this correctly? So like, loads of people in that community, streamers, were involved in paedophilia. Is that right?
Yeah. So it was streamers, YouTube creators, pro players who overlap in that category, and commentators. A slew of accusations against many. We're talking like over half of the pro gaming community at this point. My favorite creator, Zero, and my favorite pro player, Zero, was accused, denied it, then the next day admitted it, and it's just got worse and worse. It's absolutely shocking, man. Like, I've been to Smash tournaments.
Okay.
These are not inviting places for women or children.
Jesus Christ.
They're not. There is an elite kind of tier in the Smash community of just like, we're 20-something males, white males, or whatever. Do you know what? The white thing doesn't even factor into that. It is just 20-year-old males or whatever, in the 20s range. And then there's women and kids are lesser. And
so they're kind of like
a shame.
They're kind of like elitist then. Like, they think they're...
Yeah, 100%. And there are some amazing female pros, like Supergirl Kells is absolutely one of my favorites.
Okay.
And these Smash players, and I'm taking a dig at my own community here, but I really feel this needs saying. It's not an uncommon thing to hear that Smash tournaments smell. Because the people that Smash tournaments smell.
Smell?
Yes, because it is actually a very common thing that people that are at Smash tournaments put all of their time into Smash and don't have very good personal hygiene. And it's actually a very common thing. You'd think it's me being horrible and just being a dick. It's not. It's a universal thing across Smash tournaments. And these people that sit there watching anime or TV or whatever all day while playing Smash Bros, they don't have realistic expectations of how things should work. And they go out into real world situations, and it doesn't excuse what's been done, but they see these women and kids, and something is just clearly fucking wrong with them.
Well, yeah, I mean,
and it's disgusting, and people need to fucking hold themselves accountable, be better, and shape up. Like, why should women and children be under threat at a gaming tournament? It's a fantastic opportunity to bring lots of different people together to celebrate something that's actually quite innocent. And because these tournaments are always in places where there's alcohol involved and stuff, it's just a shit show.
I'm surprised that's allowed, to be honest.
So am I. I mean, obviously, as I said in my video about it, kids can't buy alcohol, but a predator doesn't care about that. A predator will buy a kid alcohol. And it needs sorting out. Like, the community needs to shape up. And the one thing I will say is, yes, this is the majority of the top bracket of people, but these people don't speak out for the Smash community. And this is actually a good thing for the Smash community. This has come out, this is apparent, and now we as a community need to fix this. We need to step up. We need to tell these people that we don't want them involved in our game. Fuck off. We need to police this shit at tournaments and make sure things are going well. Like, older people like myself, I can guarantee you next time I'm at a tournament, I'm going to be having a very careful eye on things.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to make sure that that nothing like that is going on around me. We have to step up as a community and do something better about this, and I think we will. I think what we've seen from the Smash community since then, despite new stuff coming out every day, is people are really taking a unified stand against this, and I think that's important. I think that's really important. We need to do better.
This might sound like an obvious question, but given that you regularly do these Smash streams, and given everything we've just spoken about now, would you say that it's kind of positively or negatively affected like your numbers and the amount of people coming and stuff, or has it had no effect?
Negative. It has been negative.
Okay.
What I've found is, as a new viewer, you aren't going to find me number one on your homepage. But if you are watching a video by someone like Zero or Nero or anyone else, any of the accused people who are very high profile, you would then more likely see one of my videos as Smash content in the related content underneath. People aren't getting that now because these creators are gone because of what they did. So they're not getting those initial videos to suggest more. And there is a massive hole in the Smash content kind of scene on YouTube at the moment. There is nowhere near as much content as there was. But because of that, that doesn't mean that YouTube bumped me up further.
Right.
That means they're just going to bump other things that person is interested in up further on their homepage. And it has suffered as a result. We were getting to a point where we were clearing around 200 a stream. And that's dropped down now to about 100 to 150.
Okay, so it's not too bad then.
It's not cataclysmic, but it is... there's something there.
Yeah, you notice I get it.
Yeah, but I think things are bouncing back, as I said. I think things are going to get better.
Excellent. Okay, well, shifting gears, I learned through your Facebook.
Oh, God.
That, I learned a lot from your Facebook, actually, but we'll get there.
Oh, fucking hell.
You have apparently secured a brand deal. Tell us more about that.
I can't really talk about it too much.
Ooh,
legit. This is the mad thing. I can't talk about it too much.
What can you tell us?
It's a clothing brand.
Ooh.
It's probably not one you've heard of, to be honest with you. It's a Tokyo-based clothing brand.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep.
Amazing.
It deals with some very kind of like original Japanese symbolism and that kind of thing.
Nice.
In quite nice streetwear. Obviously, nothing's... How do I put it?
Still in the works, yeah?
It's signed, but it's not signed. It's signed basically pending my approval. So when I receive the clothing, I will then analyze whether I'm going to promote it or not, because I will be honest, it's a very expensive brand.
Yeah.
It's like very expensive. And if it's not good enough quality, and if it's not what my viewers, what I think my viewers deserve, or something, a better way of saying it, if it's not something that I would wear personally, I'm not going to promote it to my viewers, particularly with the prices. I'll link it to you privately after, and you can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, so it's just pending on that. So when I get the stuff, you'll hopefully find out more. It'll be like a Raid Shadow Legends thing on the beginning of every stream, except it's not Raid Shadow
That's
Legends.
The thing. When you said that, everyone was like, oh, it's Raid Shadow Legends, isn't it?
Yeah. But Raid Shadow Legends, hit me up. Like, the phone's here. I'm waiting. Call me.
It's a matter of time, man. It's a matter of time.
They get everyone.
They get everyone. Please get me, for fuck's sake. I need the money.
I need the money so badly. Come on.
Oh man, no, I completely agree with you on the sponsorships angle. Like I remember in my previous podcast, we got we got a sponsor, and the first thing I did was order the stuff because I wanted to try it out. Because I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, this is a great product if I don't think it's a great product, just like you said. And I know there's a lot of people that don't care about that and will promote anything. You said it, not me.
I had to do the dig, sorry.
He's a twat, that's fine. It's funny as well, isn't it? Because like out of the two of them, like Logan's done some shit, but like he seems like a good bloke. Like you get on with him. Do you know what I mean? Like nice guy.
I am genuine Logang. I have Maverick merch. I don't care. Like people can hate me all they want, but
fair enough.
I think he has really matured, and we've kind of seen that.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah,
and I love a redemption story. Quite frankly,
yeah,
I can love it. So, do you know what? He's done some very good things recently, as well as he has continued to do good things since the Suicide Forest. He's continued to better himself, but recently I've just seen him doing some stuff that I'm like, for instance, I don't know if you saw where he was on his podcast talking about BLM.
Yes,
and KSI did a react to it and just applauded him and was like, "Fuck yes, I have so much respect for you right now."
Well,
and it's just like,
I think the key thing with that as well is that like he didn't just like say something and just be like, "Yeah, that's the end of it." He like said, "Yeah, we're gonna go march," and then like the next day he's out marching. Yeah, so it's like he did what he said he was gonna do, and it's like, well,
while his brother was looting.
Yeah, I mean the thing about that, and I've thought about this a lot. I think that Jake Paul is an entitled twat, right?
Yeah.
And there's just nothing redeemable about him, unfortunately. I do hope he changes. I do believe that anyone can change. I really do. But when you compare the two of them, right?
Yeah.
I feel like Logan kind of went through that phase, but like there was still
realized what he was doing.
Yeah, but there were always kind of things about him that were like still likable, even though he was kind of just this. You know, I mean, he was a young kid who became rich at a super early age. You know what I mean? Like anyone's gonna react or maybe take it. You know, it's a big thing. It's being famous.
Fair play to the guy. Like he got the bag.
Yeah,
you have to respect Jake Paul and Logan Paul for the fact they got the bag.
Yeah, no,
they knew what they were doing.
That's the thing. I don't think anyone kind of like doesn't respect them on that level. I think it's more kind of like, right, you have the money, you have the fame, all of this, right? You have the respect, but at the end of the day, how you choose to operate says a lot about you. And I feel like Jake just never learns, and it's just disappointing every single time. Like, you know, the crazy thing about him getting arrested and looting and stuff was that was happening at the same time as his brother was out marching and protesting.
Do you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? It's like and a lot of people were drawing those parallels. Like, you know, this tells you everything you need to know about the differences between them. They are completely different people. They might be related, 100%. They might be brothers, but they're different people, and their priorities are different and stuff. And yeah, I hope that Jake eventually sorts it out and, you know, grows up. Because we've all been there, you know. I was an idiot when I was a teenager. I mean, I know I think he's in his early 20s now, isn't he? But it does take a while. You have to. I think life does kind of straighten you out eventually, but it happens at different times for people. Some people never change, which is unfortunate.
Legit.
But yeah. Anyway, let's move on. So. There's many questions I could ask you here. Let's ask the big one. Let's ask the big one, which you've kind of covered before, and you know. So I'm sorry for anyone that's, you know, obviously heard Jack talk about this in the past, but no one has heard it on my channel.
Okay.
People that are finding you for the first time via my channel or whatever will want to know why. So why do you love Sonic so much?
Oh,
and when did you start loving him? Now, I already know the answer to this, but I think I might be able to learn some new stuff through it as well. So
I'm just going to start this by saying I actually started writing the script for this video today.
Oh, damn.
Okay. So this video will be coming, but I'll still go into it, of course. So,
I'll tell you what.
Go on.
You don't have to give us too much because I don't want it to ruin your own video. But there's two things. Before I let you continue, there is one thing that you said in a recent, I think it was a Q&A.
Yeah.
You said like your first experience of Sonic was playing it on the Sega Mega Drive, right?
Yes.
And I was so gassed because that was my first experience of Sonic as well. And I think I was about the same age, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Because that's funny actually. You're actually older than me by a month.
I didn't know that shit.
Yeah.
You would not think that looking at the two of us next to each other.
Yeah, no, I mean, you haven't changed. You got a beard. You're more dashing
Yep.
looking now. But
Stop it.
but yeah, that's the funny thing about growing up, isn't it? Like, you look at someone like, I don't know, The Rock, right? You look at him in the 90s and then look at him now. Like, you can just about recognise it's the same guy.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? There's been a lot of change there. Whereas some people
Yeah.
you look at and you're like I saw some baby photos of a friend of mine the other day, and I was like, yeah, you know that's him straight away. Like, it's weird. But yeah, anyway, yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? But like, that first memory really brought it back for me, and it was special, and I just totally got like why you were hooked on it. It was the same reason I was hooked on it, and for many people that, like, you know, don't know, like, a lot had changed over the years. Like, it, you know, it used to be like the villain was Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah, that's...
And then they changed it to Eggman, and it was like, what?
Yeah, that's the whole, like, thing.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's...
Was there any reason for that?
Right, that literally... Okay, so... When it comes to canon in the Sonic universe...
Yeah.
It's fucked.
Oh, okay.
So there's, like, multiple different reasons for why that could be.
Oh, I see.
But we don't really know definitively. It was a nickname that Sonic gave to Robotnik, and then it was almost like, oh no, but that's Eggman's... Robotnik is Eggman's grandfather, and it's like, but
what?
It just gets fucking convoluted as hell. But then Generations was like, no, we're the same person, because Eggman and Robotnik meet each other. So yeah, continuity is a mess.
Okay.
It's an absolute mess. But it has changed.
Did they just... Because I remember... This is how I remember it, right? You know, obviously I grew up as a fan like you know, you play the games, they're great, you know, it is what it is. And then, I don't know, maybe it was like, probably around the early 2000s actually, like maybe some new games came out or something like that. And then people were referring to him as Eggman. I was like, what? No, that's Dr. Robotnik. And then they were like,
yeah,
no, it's Eggman. And I was like, oh. Okay. So why change? Why did they do that?
Yeah, that very much Sonic Adventure 1. It was a weird change. They did it from Sonic Adventure 1, so I guess it was, you know, Sonic's jump into 3D. But yeah, it was a weird transition, and what I think it is, like, how do I put this? I can't formulate words today. I apologize. The 3D games are generally split into two different eras. There's the adventure era, which is 1 and 2, which are widely considered as some of the best Sonic games ever made.
Yes.
And then you have what's called the Dark Age, which is a string of games from Sonic Heroes up till Sonic and the Black Knight on the Wii that are considered not great.
Like Sonic 06.
But like Sonic 06, Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic and the Secret Ring, Sonic and the Black Knight.
Shadow the Hedgehog doesn't seem that bad. I mean, the controls seem a bit fucked. But...
Yeah. I personally love all of those games. To be completely
I
honest
remember
with
at school you were a big fan of Shadow, and I totally got it, because I was always a big fan of Knuckles. And, so like Shadow was just kind of like Knuckles, really, wasn't it? But like more badass, I guess.
And just had a gun for some reason.
Yeah, that
Which
was
you can
weird.
check the playthrough on the channel.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Make sure you go check that out.
Yeah, Shadow was my boy, and I think that entire era, I think it's anything that runs alongside you whilst you're becoming who you are.
Yes.
Has a massive impact on your life. Mm-hmm. And I think because this was the era of Sega releasing games every year for, you know, different consoles and whatnot, whether it be the PS2, the GameCube, the DS, the Wii, whatever I had at the time, it just becomes a big part of you. And as I'm going to go into in my video, like, I think you base a lot of your morals on those kind of things. Like, I'm still a firm believer in, like, the power of teamwork and friendship, and how it could, and how, you know, you help each other to achieve your goals. And I think that's really deep seated from Sonic.
Yes.
Along with this, you know, this carefree attitude of just, you know, run. If life starts to bother you, just have fun, go for a run, get on with it, kind of thing. And I think it's resonated with me for a very long time. And yeah, it's just, I think the hype train has built up more and more recently over the past couple of years with the movie and everything. The games have kind of gone in a bit of a weird place, but the movie's really kind of brought it up, and we've got Sonic's 30th anniversary next year, which is set to be huge. So I think it's just, you know, he's always been there.
Yeah.
The Sonic franchise has always been there throughout my life, and I think that's why it's remained such like an important foundation of it for so long.
But the biggest question, I think, that everyone really wants to know,
Go on.
is Sonic or Shadow?
Shadow.
Oh,
Shadow is my favorite character in all of fiction.
All of fiction. Wow.
All
okay.
of fiction.
That's
he is my absolute favorite character.
Why?
I just love him.
Okay.
I find him so. As I said previously, I love a redemption arc. I love the story of a tragic hero. And
me too, like Batman or anti-hero.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I don't think people realize how bad Shadow had it. Like, he had to watch his only friend in the world, who was a 10-year-old girl, get shot in the head in front of him.
God
and she
damn.
ejected him to Earth.
I can't believe this is a computer game. Like, this is
exactly. This is a Sonic game. She got shot in the head. She dropped him out of an escape pod to Earth. And then he spends the whole game wanting to get revenge on humanity for what they did to him. And I'm sat there like, I don't disagree with you.
It's a great story.
It's not fair to kill everybody on the planet and try and, like, literally murder everybody. But your main enemy is the government that ordered that kill.
Yeah.
Like, it's so relatable. And at the end of it, he comes back and he's like, no, I'm going to protect the world because that's what she wanted me to do.
Yeah.
And it's such a brilliant redemption arc. And of course, he's an edgy little emo, and I'm still an edgy little emo at heart. You have to bear in mind, Shadow the Hedgehog came out in 2005, the year of MCR's The Black Parade.
Oh, man. Do you know what?
The emo was high.
I gotta say, I wasn't a big fan of that album.
Were you not?
I was
You were a Three Cheers
for Sweet Revenge guy, yeah.
Okay,
I thought that was excellent.
I got love. Do you know what? Weirdly enough, this morning I was like, Alexa, play me some pop punk. And it brought on House of Wolves by MCR.
That's a good tune, actually. Yeah.
Black Parade. I was like, oh my God, I haven't listened to this song in years and years and years.
It has some good songs on it, but I think at the time, like, I was so bothered about the fact that everyone was going on and on and on about it, and I was like, it's not as good as their older work, though. Their first two albums were, like, perfect.
Yeah, and it was number one for God knows how long.
The album after that, I think, is actually my favourite. The was it Last of the Killjoys or whatever it is. Is
that the one with Na 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 on it?
Yeah.
I like that song. I'm not actually given the album a listen.
Do you know what?
I think that's purely because it got a bit poser for me. So I need to.
I thought they were a bit posery when they did Black Parade.
Yeah, but I
get what you mean.
I think I kind of clocked onto that slightly after. I think like I got sucked into that phase, and then I realized after, like, that was a bit of a. I really, really did get sucked into that, and then didn't give the new album much attention.
That was the height of emo, man. That really was when that came out. I remember, like, the English press trying to define it, and they, like, inaccurately defined everyone that listens to it as, like, wrist cutting, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And it was like, it just shows you guys know nothing. Like, just bugger off.
Funny. Do you know what? I think that was legit, like, the same opinion of people at school. They didn't get it.
Yes.
They didn't understand this lifestyle or this music at all. And actually, I find it quite funny now.
It was an identity thing. It was like, if you liked rock or metal, then you're my enemy. And it was, like, so dumb.
Yeah. But then these were also the same people that would go nuts if Mr. Brightside or All the Small Things came on at a house party.
Yeah.
And it was like, why are you hating? Like, I don't think you understand that it's one and the same. Like, I miss those days, man. Paramore, everyone was wearing Nightmare Before Christmas merch.
It was good times.
Everyone was wearing checkerboard Vans. It was the dream.
Man, I loved Hayley Williams so much. I was a big fan.
Still waiting for that marriage proposal.
Hey, you never know, man. You never know.
Never know.
You're on your way to becoming a celebrity, so it's possible.
God, don't say that. That scares me. That actually scares me.
So, Okay, this is interesting. I noticed that you recently spoke about kind of distancing yourself from Sonic content on your channel, and I found that very
Yeah,
interesting because almost obviously, you're such a big Sonic
yeah.
Sonic channel. It's kind of built around that. So, what's the plan? Where are you headed with the channel? You're looking to create different types of content. Are you going to stop making Sonic content? Like, what's the deal?
See, the intention was never to stop making Sonic content. It was going to be that it wasn't going to be the main focus of things anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had, like, thinking about things more after that video, I found that I was struggling with it.
Okay.
Like, going through Facebook and seeing, like, Sonic-related memes and stuff like that, I was struggling with not hitting the share button. And I kind of had to think about it. I was like, Sonic is a massive part of my identity. It always will be, and it's always going to be. I have to kind of work with it. But it's very difficult in professional and social settings to be taken seriously when you are just known as the Sonic guy.
Okay.
And I have so many more interests. I'm sure you know my love for Spider-Man and Marvel is just as strong as my love for Sonic. I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's one of my favorite shows ever. I want to do extensive content on it.
Ooh.
There's other games I want to play. Like I want to start jumping into Doom Eternal a bit more and things like that. And I think that people are a bit polarized by other types of content because they're like, but it's not Sonic content. And what I basically need people to do is open their minds, broaden their horizons.
Okay, well,
and not have people hit the unsub button because today's upload wasn't a Sonic upload. Do you know what I mean? There will still be a Sonic through line on the channel. There will always have to be. If I'm doing this daily uploads thing, you can bet your ass there's going to be at least one Sonic video in that week. And, at the moment we're doing Shadow the Hedgehog, so it's consistently a Sonic related thing. But I want to move into different things. I want to do some reactions to a different thing, to some different things, sorry. I want to try bringing my podcast back because it's been quite a while since I've done my podcast.
Okay.
And just a few different bits. And I think the audience needs to kind of be receptive of that. And I think transparency with your audience is very important in that. If I were just to start suddenly uploading no Sonic content and just doing all this other stuff, people would just unsubscribe. And I think if you're honest with people and say, look, guys, we're keeping that, but there's going to be some other stuff as well. I'm going to be pumping out a lot of other stuff that isn't related to that, and I hope you guys enjoy it. If that then gives them their thing in the sand, their line in the sand, and they may stand there and say, okay, well, you know what? I'm open to this. Let's see what kind of other stuff is coming through. And so far, that has worked really well. I've had amazing reception to Final Fantasy VII Remake and Kingdom Hearts. So, and those are another two franchises I'm absolutely in love with and want to cover loads of stuff on. So it's nice, it's branching out into more of the nerdy, not just being known as a Sonic channel, trying to just be more of a nerd culture channel in general. Because trust me, I've got too much nerd culture to talk about that just isn't getting put on the channel.
A lot of YouTubers, when they run into the same sort of issue that you're running into right now, they tend to make like a second channel or something like that. Have you thought about the idea of that? Maybe just having like a channel where you just do whatever the fuck you want and your main channel just has like a particular focus or something like that?
I did, and there were two kind of points I had to that. The first one is, I do have the time, but I don't have the time to build a second channel while I'm doing the stuff that I'm doing with the main channel, the daily uploads, daily streams. Right. I've got all day to do whatever I want, but it takes a lot to put out daily uploads, as you know. And then to set up a daily stream as well, it's not easy. Growing a second channel would not be great time-wise. I'm not sure it would be possible to get it all done. And the other thing is, my main channel is supposed to be whatever the fuck I want.
Okay.
It's supposed to be... It's not Sonic the Hedgehog. It is my personality, my brand of content, what I feel like doing. And I think I almost feel like if I created a second channel if I made the channel for specifically something, and then made a second channel that was more like, this is me, I would end up regretting it at some point.
I see what you mean.
And being like, I could have made different choices with the channel to still reflect my personality and stuff. As much as it's a production, it also needs to be very me at the same time, you know?
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's like it brings forth like a potential conflict of interest down the line.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. You briefly mentioned while you were chatting, actually, that you did a podcast. I haven't found any remnants of this online or evidence of this. Could you tell us more about like what your podcast was about and like what you're going to do with it in the future?
I'm going to pull up the YouTube studio right now.
Okay.
I'm going to talk you through some of the podcasts I did. They're very early on in the days of the channel. Very, very early on, like the first year.
Okay.
And I believe we got to episode 17, 18.
Okay, so you went pretty far then. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't do too badly with it. Let's have a quick look.
You say we as well. Did you do it with someone else, or are you
Yes, I had my wonderful co-host, that guy Jesuf.
Okay.
Who was only ever on the podcast. He didn't do a channel or anything, but that was always fun. We did 18. 18 episodes.
Okay.
And we covered a range of things. Like the last one was on the Premier League, because the Premier League was about to start, and we were just talking about predictions. Did one on Kingdom Hearts 3 just before it came out.
Nice.
We did. Oh no, it was 17. I apologize. 17 episodes. And then we did things like, where's the next one? I have so much content on here now. Jesus. It would just be a wide range of things. So I would find out mainly about nerdy movie news, Marvel, DC, that kind of thing. We would talk about a lot of that stuff. Again, with the TV shows, comic books in general. It was very, very nerd focused. And yeah, I loved doing it. It was very kind of natural because it was just me and my mate having a conversation about all these things and, you know, set photos or trailers or whatever was coming out. For instance, I remember when the Suicide Squad trailer came out. Sorry, not trailer. Like, no, what was it? What film was it? It wasn't Suicide Squad. It was another film. I can't remember that. It was a DC film. And we did some big thing on it. It might have been BVS. I think it was BVS. And we did like some big talk about it for hours and how like Gotham how Gotham can't run on its own basis as a TV show because of Batman vs Superman and weird things like that. And it was really nerdy. Do you know what I mean? Like really getting into the nitty gritty of the nerdiness.
Yeah.
But it's just something that kind of just stopped happening. As you know, as life changes, as we get older and we don't have the same time that we used to do things. And particularly when I moved house as well, I moved a fair distance away from the guy who I do the podcast with. So, you know, it's one of those things I would like to bring back, definitely, but it's something I want to bring back under a microscope and kind of examine what works, examine what doesn't, and try and cater it to the audience a lot more.
Okay, so is it going to be kind of just you this time, or are you looking to have like other people on the show, guests? What's the platform?
I'll definitely have other people. So I'm going to be running a series that's going to be called Calamity Conversations, which is not actually a podcast, but it's going to be very similar to one.
Okay.
Where it's just me and my good friend Crew Cartoons just chatting shit for half an hour about whatever.
It is a podcast, really, then.
Essentially, yeah, but we're not calling it a podcast. But then I'm going to run an actual podcast on something. That's not going to be like a constant update thing. That's just going to be, there's a random Calamity Conversations video that's just popped up. Whereas the podcast will be a more consistent thing where it's going to be more structured, talking about certain things. And we're going to try and go more general with it as well. Like, I really want to cover all the stuff that's going on with Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson and Tatty Westbrook and all this craziness. Try and have a bit more of a general outreach with it.
And it sounds to me like this is something that's going to happen soon then. Is this...
Very soon. Very soon. Mm-hmm. These things are all in the works at the moment.
Exciting.
And obviously with the slowdown, things are moving forward pretty quickly. So, yeah. It should be good.
Awesome. Well, switching it up, tell me more about Midtown Public Charter School.
Oh, here we go. Had you not? Do you know what it where Midtown Public Charter High School is?
I have no idea. Is this a meme? I'm old.
No, that is the school that Peter Parker goes to in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Oh, how did I not know that? I've seen the fucking movie as well. I like Spider-Man. Yeah. I'm a big Spider-Man fan. Oh, fuck's sake.
Gotta love Spidey.
Well, there you go. I got trolled.
Yeah.
I thought there was like a faint chance that maybe you studied in the States or like were doing it like in a long distance course or some shit.
You know what? It's more like employers. So like if employers are looking for you, they're going to search you on Facebook, right?
Yeah, I just have mine as private though. Fuck it.
So do I, but apparently people always find a way, and I don't understand it.
Not if everything is set to like only I can see it.
Maybe I need to look at it. But then that's also the territory of being a YouTuber where I'm trying to like push everything out.
Dude, set up a page. That's what you do.
I've got a page, but I find outreach is better by posting on my normal Facebook, right, even if I post on the page and then share that on my normal Facebook.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it just seems to get more interaction with it. So, but you know, it was just a case of like, on my CV it says where I went to school.
Yeah. Because
that's the the institution at which I got my qualifications.
We went to a great school, by the way.
We did go to a great school.
I gotta say,
then like they Google it and they found you.
Just on a side note, like I'm so grateful that we went to that school.
Can you imagine? Like I know about some of like the Harrow schools and and further on, and it's like, yo, we got lucky.
No, but seriously, like when I track back, when I think, because I get a lot of people say to me, "Oh, are you like posh or something?" Or you know,
I get that all the time.
Right, and it's funny to me because like of where I grew up and like not having anything and like having, you know, for instance, it was a regular occurrence for us for our boiler to break down during winter, and then like to boil with like a kettle and like. I don't know if you ever came to my place when I lived in Ruislip, but it was
might have done.
It was in tatters. It was falling apart. Like, it was just a joke.
Fair. Good old Ruislip.
Oh, I loved Ruislip, man. It'll always be home for me.
I'm still here.
You're still there? Oh, yeah. I would love to visit you sometime. I adore Ruislip so much.
Come pop by, Metline.
I will.
Metline gang.
Well, I'm up in Manchester, so it'll have to be like a big long trip.
So you have to get one train first and then get that connected Metline.
We'll go. Do you know what? There is so many good places. Like, for people that don't know about Ruislip is a funny little town, but it's really nice, friendly community. Lots of nice places. Like, I found it really cool that there was the Lido, which is like I don't know what you would call it, like a mini reservoir beach type place.
Yeah.
I really liked the fact that there was that, and then you got the forest right next to it, so you can just go through that, and then that would connect to our school as well. So like, I remember like often, especially in year 10 and year 11, I would just walk home through the forest. It was sick.
See, I wish I lived where I lived now when I was at school, because I could have done that. I walked through. I'm basically up the road from the Lido now.
Dude, when I think back, I used to walk very far because I lived about. Let's say 10-15 minutes from Ruislip train station, right? So I would I would walk all the way from Ruislip to Ruislip Manor, and then walk all the way up that hill and then down it, and then walk into the forest at the end. Like, I walked a very fucking long way. I don't understand
that's a
why.
Bit of a trek, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think it must have been about an hour and a half walk, or maybe a bit less.
Yeah, dude, that was mine as well, because I was like South Ruislip.
Oh, Jesus.
Like East Coast and other end of East Coast and Ruislip Manor between then.
Yeah.
So it was like an hour and a half walk home from school. I actually used to not mind it.
Yeah, man, that's what I don't understand. Like, I think I prefer, like, because I didn't like to be stuck on either waiting for the bus or, you know, like, and for me it was chill. I just stick music in, like, walk to school. It was great. And didn't have to wait around, didn't have to be stuck on the bus with a bunch of idiots, didn't have to have that really annoying thing where like someone's fucking around and the bus driver doesn't want to move and then you're late for school.
Oh God, yeah.
I could do a whole podcast with you on just school stories, man.
We should do it sometime, legit.
I would love that. The
woes of childhood in London.
I mean, to be honest, I think like we had it really good. Like, it was a nice school. I'd say like 70 or 80% of my memories of that time are very positive. And the 20%, you know, it was horrible, and it was, you know, there was like bullying and tough times and stuff. But
yeah,
I don't know, for me, I kind of just like, I don't know, it doesn't really bother me that much for some reason.
I get that. Weird. I don't know, like I have very mixed feelings about school, but
okay,
the lessons that I learned I wouldn't trade for the world.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like, I think that's the important thing of any experience, really, to take the lessons from it.
Yeah.
And yeah, like there's, you know, I have some amazing memories from secondary school as well. Yeah, I think it's the same as every experience, really. It shapes you. You learn things from it.
Yeah, well, one good thing about the bullying, actually, that I experienced was this idea that, like, because for me, the bullying came from people I thought that were my friends. So it was even weirder. It was this kind of weird feeling of like, are they my friends? Aren't they my friends? I don't really understand, because sometimes they're nice, sometimes they're nasty. In the end, I you know, they weren't my friends. I realised that.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, like, because that's a funny thing. You'd think like the bullying would come from like chavs or people that like didn't like me, but actually I got on with everyone for the most part. It was just the people, and I won't name them, but I think you know who they are, and we can talk about it off.
Oh, I've got a few names.
Yeah, but, and they know who
people
they
are.
Like
to throw in the sea.
And they're assholes. But like at the end of the day, I think life has a funny way of coming back to haunt you, and
yeah, I agree with that.
But like I think the point being that, like, you know, as you said, it teaches you lessons and stuff, and I just feel like we were very lucky. Like, it was a good education system we had there, good bunch of people, safe kind of environment. You know, like when I compare it to other people's experiences, I'm like, wow, like if I didn't go there, I think I'd be screwed.
Yeah, I mean, like we didn't get any like school stabbings or anything. The worst we got was a school riot. Do you remember that?
Oh, that wasn't a riot. I tell you what, that was.
No, but that's what it was called. Wasn't it? School riot.
I'll never forget this. So I was in, I think it was this was year 7. I was sitting in a Spanish class, and obviously where the class was, it overlooked the field. And this supposed riot, you can't see me doing the fingers, but I'm doing the fingers, right? It was just literally a group of like people from our class, which I thought was stupid. Like, you just join a school and then you get involved with something like this. Because there was this girl. Do you remember Joanne, the really tall girl? Joanne Hamadi. Yeah. So she, like, bless her, she's a sweetheart. But like in year 7, she was a bit of a rebel, and she was really tall in year 7, like way taller than everyone. So she was right at the front of this like riot, and you could see her like sticking out like a sore thumb, and I was like, man, like she's gonna get in trouble. But it was like 300 or 400 people from all different years running in circles around the field, away from the teachers. Like, it was really weird. And then eventually they all just ran to the fence at the end and jumped over. And some of them escaped, some of them didn't. They all got suspended, some of them expelled. And I can't even remember what it was. Was it about like uniform or something stupid?
No, it was
like
the behaviour policy, wasn't it? So they brought in the behaviour policy that said things like, if your tie wasn't done properly, you would get a detention, or if your shirt was untucked, you would get a detention. And people were like, nah, fuck you.
Do you know what? Actually, I got
rightly so.
I got caught on the end of this, because it was shit. There was this particular IT teacher who was an asshole. Like, every single time you'd be walking down the corridor and he would see you with like your shirt untucked or something, he would just give you a straight detention. He was a cock.
Too many of them.
And check this out, right? Like, it's one thing to enforce, uniform standards, which I noticed actually had a pattern. It was just for the first couple of months at the beginning of every term, and then it would just end. And then they wouldn't care anymore because they're too busy like with other shit. But this guy was like an asshole 24/7, and I'll never forget my first week. Right, I managed to get 3 detentions. One of them, I think you can argue I kind of deserved. It was me and a friend fucking around in class. Another one was just for something silly, and then the third one might have actually been my first detention, and I was heartbroken. I was like, my mum's gonna kill me. This is depressing. Oh my god! And literally, I'd just come from PE. I was rushing to my next lesson, like I was about to be late, and my shirt was a little bit untucked. Right.
Oh god.
And he caught me, and I explained. I told the truth. I was like, listen, I'm really sorry. I just came from PE. You know, this happened. Blah blah blah. And he was like, I'm so sorry, but the rules are the rules. And he just gave me the detention, and I was just like, you fucking arsehole. And I think that began the beginning of the rebel in me. I was like, no, fuck this lot, man. Like,
see, my parents put the fear of death in me about detentions.
Oh, dude.
And to be fair, I could count the amount of detentions I've got on one hand throughout my entire
You were pretty good at
life.
school, actually, I think.
I wasn't bad, but like,
I did everything.
I was lazy.
Wrong.
I was lazy. I think is the best way to put it. So,
I was the same. And the funny thing about me as well was that, like, I got every single punishment it was possible to get, apart from getting expelled. Yeah. And I think the funny thing was that, like, I was a smart kid. Like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn or something, but, like, in the sense that, like, when I get, like, pulled into, like, Miss Hitchman's office, for instance, she would get angry at me. Not because of what I'd done, but because of, like, my potential and, you know.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And it was like, you're a smart kid. Why are you doing this stupid stuff? Like, blah, blah, blah. You know, and she was a parent as well. So she, you know, she got it. She got kids. She was a great woman, Miss Hitchman. And so, like, and it's funny, like, when I think back, like, I did well at school. I got the grades I needed and everything. And I also did every single bad thing I could possibly do. And it's just funny now. But yeah, no, we had it pretty easy, I think, at that school, to be honest. Like, when I compared to other schools, that was easy.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh my god,
100%.
Anyway, sorry, that was a nice little reminiscent. I can't believe that was over uniform policy. What the
know, ridiculous. What is wrong with us as a generation?
Let's bring this back to you, because you are the guest. You are the important thing here, the topic. I don't know what. I was looking for some profound way of saying this, but I lost it.
Mate, no, that's profound enough. I'm gassed. Let's go.
Tell us something about yourself that not everyone knows. I've been asking. Go on.
I'm diabetic.
Oh, everyone. Oh, well, I guess not everyone would know that. I know that.
I don't display this on YouTube.
I can tell a funny story about that. Actually. I don't know if it's funny, but it's a.
Is it the time that I passed out on the field?
No. And to be honest, when that shit would happen, I was like really worried, man.
Oh god, I'm legitimately now.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna name and shame actually, because I really don't give a fuck. Person in our year called George. I can't even remember his second name, so I can't fully like name and shame.
Not tall George. Nikhil.
Not George Ray. No.
I was gonna say he's a sweetheart.
No. He is a sweetheart.
He's doing really well actually now.
Yeah, I saw him pop up on Facebook the other day, and I was like,
both of them are doing really well.
Hover over add friend. I was like, do I? Maybe. Okay. I just don't add people anymore. Like they add me. I'm fully on that wave of like, you know, when you look at a Facebook account, you're like, I don't know half the people on here, or I don't talk to at least 3/4 of the people on here.
Yeah, no, most of mine are
just that now.
School friends, people I met in Estonia or uni, or something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, so this guy teased me bullied me for like since the day that happened for having that fit.
That's flat. Like,
yeah, and to that guy, I just want to say, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Well, he's probably fat, overweight, 5 kids. Something
exactly.
Like that. No, but like the thing with I remember 2 things about your diabetes, because it was a very scary thing. Being your friend and understanding like what the shit you had to go through, and like I remember seeing you taking it and stuff, like your insulin and stuff, and it was always kind of like I just used to sit there thinking like, fuck man, like this guy has to go through like so much crap, like this sucks. I remember 2 things. One time I was angry at you, right, because you thought it was a good idea to down a 2-liter bottle of Diet Coke, and then you proceeded to tell me about this. Thinking that I would be like, oh yeah, great, well done, yeah, like, you know, and I was like, no, you're a fucking idiot, this is really serious, and you could die. What the fuck?
Oh my god, this is diet.
Well, I don't know, man. I think it might have been.
All I drink is Diet Coke. Legitimately.
Okay.
I drink so much.
I think it might have not been diet then. I think it was actual.
No. I remember it. It was diet. I 100% remember it because if I had drunk normal Coke, I would have died.
Oh, okay. Then I feel like an idiot. Then
Straight up, I
didn't know that Diet Coke was safe. Then, so now I know after all these years. So I just gave you a grilling for no reason.
Literally,
for fuck's
no,
sake.
it's no sugar.
Well, okay. Sorry for all these years later for giving you a grilling on that. And the other story, because I used to go to the sick area quite a lot. It was in the maths corridor. I remember this vividly.
Oh God, yeah.
And we would always go there. I remember the locker for like getting. If you ever forgot your PE kit, you had to like go to the locker near there.
God,
and it was like used clothes, and it was horrible
nightmare.
But I remember there were a few times when I was genuinely ill, and I would go there. But often I was just faking to get out of maths because I hated maths so much, and my teacher was a cock. Anyway, I feel happy to say this because it's true. But I used to go there quite a lot, and I often see you there. And I don't know if you knew that I was faking or not, but you didn't give a shit, and you never ratted me out, so it was all good.
Not my problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
I remember, like, for you, it was like a vacation, and everyone there loved you, and you were like a regular, and you were always kind of there. Yeah. And it was because you had to take your insulin, but you had like a small cupboard or something.
Chocolate stuff.
Yeah, and you would take it to kind of balance out your sugar levels, I guess.
100%.
Right.
Because what was happening at that time is, this is a bit that not a lot of people know about this. When you hit puberty and you're a diabetic, your body starts becoming resistant to insulin.
Oh wow!
And it starts being like, no, I don't like this. This isn't a thing, and it doesn't process it properly. And while you're going through that period of your life, it does fix itself and it sorts itself out.
Okay.
But because of that, particularly like years 7, 8, and 9, my sugars were absolutely fucked. I was constantly needing to review it and change things, and constantly have to top up my sugar, and then I'd have had too much sugar, and it was a constant battle for a good few years. I don't know if you remember, I was off for like severe periods of year 7 and 8. Like not at school at all.
I don't really remember that, but I do remember you kind of having like lows. I seem to recall.
Yeah.
If you had like a sugar low, you just kind of looked like really tired or like kind of sick or something. I remember that.
Yeah. So it was all kind of that stuff, really. It was just, it became an absolute bitch to manage. Now it's absolutely fine. Now, like, diabetes is not a massive hindrance on my life in any way, shape, or form.
Do you have to have like stronger doses now then because you're an adult, or like how does that work?
Kind of, yeah. Well, to be honest, I wasn't really keeping record of what I was taking at that time. But yeah, to some degree, and particularly a lot of it's factored on like meal size and things like that. You know, what exactly is the content of the meal you're eating? Is it very carb heavy? Then you're going to need more insulin. If it's more of a salad type thing, you might not even need to take any insulin, depending, you know. So it's all kind of a working out as you go along kind of game.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I guess I did learn some new things through that, actually. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I'm just glad that you found a way to, like, for it not to be a hindrance to your life. That's really cool, man.
Yeah. Do you know what? Honestly, I hear some of these people that come out like, oh, diabetes ruined my life. And I'm like...
Well, I mean, you
don't have to let it. Like, there are circumstances, of course, in which it can, but...
I was going to say, yeah, like, there are certain severities
of course,
where it's, like, unbearable and stuff.
But at the end of the day, for most people, you don't have to let it. You don't have to let it dictate your life, and you can live a very comfortable and happy lifestyle while having it. So, if you get diagnosed with diabetes, kids, don't think it's all doom and gloom, because it's not.
Absolutely.
It's not great, obviously, but, like, you're going to be fine.
Jack got through it, yeah. And he's doing very well for himself.
Yeah, exactly. You know, just murk it, guys.
Speaking of which,
all gone.
What kind of tips would you give to a beginner YouTuber? Because obviously you've done very well. You've really grinded for the past year and a half, and you know it's gotten you to where you are now. So, what kind of tips would you give to people starting out right now?
I would say, don't rush.
Okay.
That is my biggest thing. Now, everyone is trying to get on YouTube and get the next big thing or whatever, but the quality of your work speaks much higher than the quantity. You want to produce videos that you would be happy to watch yourself. And I think that's the main thing. So if I'm working on a particularly big project video, as I am at the moment, I watch a lot of YouTubers who do similar kind of things, and I will think about what makes me enjoy that content, why I want to watch that. And I think that's very important. But you also, to play devil's advocate, you don't want to just completely cater to that. You need to find that blend of your personality as well to really kind of bring it all together. So while you may get to see these idiots that go out there and do daily vlogs and for like 3 years in a row and making 6 figures and all that kind of thing,
I make
it's not necessarily the way for you.
But I make vlogs.
You make good quality vlogs.
Yeah.
I make vlogs
you do.
From time to time, but they have to be. And like, I don't like my vlogs. Funnily enough, I think my vlogs are terrible.
I know what you mean. I get really cringe when I watch back I can't watch my stuff back. Generally,
some stuff I do, a lot of stuff I do. Some stuff I don't now. Like, I think that is like an inherent thing with a lot of YouTubers where we do cringe at our own content. But at the same time, like, I now make videos that I can enjoy watching. I have to take myself out of it. I have to be like, that's not you that you're looking at. And like, that's a completely different entity, but I can enjoy my content now. And I don't want that to make me sound really big-headed. Like, oh, look at me. I love my own content. I watch it every day. But do you know what I mean? Like, every YouTuber, believe it or not, this is industry news, guys, that you may not have heard before. Every YouTuber will be the first person to watch their video when it goes on YouTube. Once it goes on YouTube, you give it its first view and you put that like on it.
What do you think? Even like the big YouTubers do that?
Oh yeah, dude, 100%. It's just straight out the bat. It's almost like I don't even necessarily need to watch it. I just, once it's uploaded on YouTube Studio, I hit the YouTube button and I'll just let it run while I'm doing whatever, because that's 13 minutes watch time and a like.
So it does actually count towards it then?
Yeah. That your view does count towards it. If you keep watching it, it won't.
It won't, yeah.
But your first unique view does count towards it, and so does the like.
Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah, always do it, dude. Always watch your stuff.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to make sure I do that now.
Give it, like,
first
thing
here.
you do when you upload, give it a watch.
Okay, man. Well, thanks for sharing that, man. I do appreciate it.
Industry secrets.
Secrets. Do you remember that?
Oh my god, yeah.
What is that from?
I don't even remember.
Oh my god.
That's just like fresh in my mind now. Jesus.
It's definitely some YouTube. Oh, I know what it is. It's the guy. No, it isn't that guy. Oh, I don't know. Some Vine guy, I think. Anyway.
Goddamn Vine.
Oh, I miss Vine, man. Vine was good.
Vine was good.
Anyways, we've wow. It's almost coming up to an hour and 45 minutes, man. It's been It's definitely my longest interview, and I'm very pleased with its outcome. I think we've covered a lot of ground here, and we've got a very good understanding of you as a person and as a YouTuber and just generally a content creator. Just to kind of wrap this all up, is there any major kind of projects that you want to promote now, or anything you kind of want to leave the listening audience with?
Okay, all right, sign off, eh? Oh. So I have, since we hit 1,000 subscribers, there are a few projects that are in the works for that. There is a song coming out soon.
God damn.
I'm going to be back in the studio re-recording some of the vocals on that with my good friend and producer Cult Eviction. So that will be coming out in the next month or two. So that's a big one. There are a couple more video essays on the way on the channel. One for Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, one for Avatar: The Last Airbender, and as mentioned previously, the Why I Love Sonic So Much one. So stay tuned for those. Continuing the Shadow the Hedgehog playthrough at the moment, so if you want to see a very edgy 2005 game, please go check that out. What else? Oh, and also, obviously, if you can, go and subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the stuff, support this man right here with his channel. There's merch that is going to be coming out. That's the big crazy one. There are
you got to get me a
out.
t-shirt, man.
I'll get you a t-shirt, 100%.
Oh,
but there are t-shirts coming out because of the 1,000 subscribers thing.
Oh, nice.
And they're going to be very limited. There's not going to be tons of them. So they will be going on sale. More info about that soon. So if you want to find out about those, check on the channel, because it'll be in some of the videos there, or on the other social medias like Insta or Twitter or whatever. And finally, this will be a kind of announcement to my viewers. So I'm not going to tell them about this. I'm going to tell them they have to come watch this for this announcement. Because this was something to be announced to them. So to any of the hatchlings that are watching right now, we are doing a 16-player Smash tournament. It will be online, full setup, 3 stock, 7 minutes, no items, the whole thing. And we're going to be recording the whole thing over 2 separate arenas and showing your highlights on the channel. So your games against other players will be featured on the channel as their own independent videos. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be opening entries soon. There will only be 16 places, so stay tuned and make sure you hit the subscribe button on both Calamityhatcher and Christian Reeve. Otherwise, you ain't getting in.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. I can't wait for the merch, man. I'm actually gassed for that.
It's going to be so good. Very excited.
Cool. Well, listen, thank you so much for appearing on the podcast and being part of this.
Thank you for having me, my friend. It was a pleasure.
Pleasure is mine, my friend. Honestly, it's been nice catching up with you.
Definitely.
And yeah, just hearing about your journey and everything that you're doing now and the future. So
hey man, it's gonna be crazy.
To my audience, please make sure you subscribe to Calamityhatcher on YouTube. He's killing it right now, and the future is looking very bright for this young man.
And if any of my guys are watching it, make sure you're subscribing to Christian, because damn, this guy produces some good content and he works fucking hard at it. So
thank you, sir.
Hit that button and slap a like on this.
On that note,
and tell your friends.
Thank you, everyone, for watching the Christian Reeve podcast. And until next time, I bid you adieu.